the land of words with flera. There's a tasty one, chingadera. Its spice is bold, beyond compare, but use it wisely, with great care. It dances on the tongue, debonair, but might cause a stir, so beware. Chingadera is fun, a word so rare. Just be mindful when you share.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Coffee and Headlines. Here we are once again broadcasting from Café Rio here at the Joint, where the amazing Karina is now my friend. She's my best friend. I get here every morning and she fixes me with a nice cup of coffee, a muffin, and I'm good to go. So, how is everybody today? I am patiently waiting for Telmex to do a small miracle at my house, but we'll get into that later. Today, I have a bunch of news, starting with the unexpected rise of the Rio Cuale yesterday afternoon, which took everybody by surprise, and other interesting things that I'm sure you will enjoy. As always, please feel free to add a capital letter Q at the beginning of your comment if you have any questions, and feel free to add a capital letter N in your comment if you are new to the broadcast and would like a nice little friendly welcome. I'm gonna like the comments, I can already tell. But let's get into the news first. Starting with this unexpected rise of the Rio Cuale, which happened yesterday afternoon. I was broadcasting the spotlight from the hotel, and I didn't think it was too much of a storm, but apparently it must have rained very hard up the mountains, and one can only imagine the amount of rain that must have occurred up there for the levels in the Cuale to rise so suddenly. There was a number of videos out there that can be found on social media that show how high the river went. It was not so bad in town, but in El Jorullo, which is up the river, not far from Puerto Vallarta, it was so bad that the old Almacenes Bridge overflowed. If you've ever been to Canopy River, Almacenes Bridge is it's an old bridge that is like right as you're heading up towards El Jorullo. So that was that, and of course, a lot of people commenting on social media were concerned. I took a short video this morning from the balcony off the lobby here at the Joint Boutique Hotel and Co-work. So you can see the water is not high anymore. It is not that unusual, and certainly nothing to be afraid about. But this, of course, is to be expected. You know, sometimes it rains in the mountains, we don't know it, and that's why the river behaves in what seems to be an unpredictable way. Moving right along, data obtained from the government of Jalisco confirms that Puerto Vallarta benefited from almost 21,000 million pesos in tourism revenue during the first half of the year, thanks to successful promotional efforts. Looking at it with different numbers, Puerto Vallarta welcomed almost 3,000 million visitors. No, okay, I have that number wrong. Puerto Vallarta welcomed a ton of visitors during that period. I don't have the exact number. I see a typo in my notes. And this is all lovely, but one has to wonder, why can't we afford a better trash collections service? After 5 months of not meeting something that is supposed to happen on a monthly basis, Puerto Vallarta City Council met yesterday. There was a lot to be discussed. approve and disapprove, including an increase on the budget required for our city to have a better trash collection service, and this was rejected. So do not expect to see all those lovely mountains of trash in many corners of our city to go away anytime soon. There were some tense moments. For example, Mayor Martinez proposed a budget increase, which was quickly voted out of the agenda simply because the numbers that he presented did not match other numbers that other people had that were broken down. So, as you can imagine, at the end of this administration, there must be a lot of uncertainty going on in the city as to where the money went or where the money is. And hopefully these things will be resolved before the current administration disappears, because that's what usually happens. Meanwhile, Mayor-elect Luis Munguía continues to lay down the groundwork for his upcoming administration by traveling to sister city Santa Barbara, where he strengthened the bond with participating in the city's traditional Spanish fiestas. It's worth mentioning that both Munguía and City Councilor-elect Marcia Bañuelos, who traveled with him, they both paid for their expenses out of their own pocket. And I also have, what else do we have? Oh yes, in case you've been wondering about that water that has been flowing nonstop along Guatemala Street on Cinco de Diciembre for weeks now, the good news is that it is not sewage water, but many wonder why the problem has not been addressed. The water leak originates from under a condominium building known as the Colonial. It was built where there used to be a movie theater of ill repute, and we don't exactly know why authorities have not fixed this. But the bottom line is you can step on the water with confidence knowing that it is not caca water, but just be careful because you might slip. And I think we have one more. Yes, we do. Well, this is hardly the news you need today, but given the fact that I still don't have internet service at home, I am in one of those moods. A man waiting in line for attention at the CFE, or Federal Electricity Commission, fainted after waiting for hours. And he was not waiting inside where he might have benefited from maybe air conditioning. He was waiting outside. And all I have to say is what I said yesterday. Appliances and service in our city is always wonderful until it stops working. Why am I not in the center of my frame? There you go. Much better. What else do we have? Oh, we have, we have this.
My next music appreciation presentation, Soundscapes of Serenity, will focus on the origins, evolution, and healing power of ambient music. Discover its rich origins, witness its evolution, and explore the profound healing power it holds. We will listen to carefully curated audio and video selections, allowing you to experience the soothing and transformative effects of ambient music firsthand. As always, we will enjoy this captivating exploration in a comfortable air-conditioned environment designed for your ultimate relaxation and enjoyment. Soundscapes of Serenity will take place on Thursday, August 8th at the Joint Boutique Hotel. As always, tickets are 300 pesos per person and available at the hotel's reception desk for your purchase. Seating is limited, so get your tickets soon. Hope to see you there. Coffee and Headlines is brought to you by the generous support of our viewers and the following community partners: Best Cord Cutting TV, Bravo's Restaurant Bar, Joint Boutique Hotel and Co-work, Oculto, and Siam Cocina Thai. Thank you for your support, and thank you for supporting our community partners.
Ay, ay, ay. This morning, our weatherman is snarky. He says, I wonder what JD Vance's approval rating is with couches. I am not even touching that. And I mean that both literally and figuratively. Today, we have 30 degrees out there. Humidity is at 68% at present time. Our weather forecast says it's mostly cloudy skies in the morning with thunderstorms in the afternoon, a chance of rain of 41%, a high of 33 and a low of 24. Then tomorrow, Friday, mostly clear skies in the morning with thunderstorms in the afternoon, a chance of rain of 66%, a high of 33 and a low of 25. And then Saturday, rain in the morning with thunderstorms in the afternoon, a chance of rain of 76%, a high of 32 and a low of 25. Let me see what else I have in store. Sorry about that. I pushed the wrong button. I do have another news item that I want to share with you, and this has to do with turtles. Let me set this up. And there we go. This is nothing more than a quick reminder of the wonderful experience it is to release a turtle back to the ocean here in Puerto Vallarta. We're in the middle of the season, and this is something that our dear friend Albert doesn't get to do in the wintertime. So maybe, Albert, maybe you should consider releasing a turtle or two. This article mentions the different places in town where you can release a turtle, mostly hotels. So if you want to participate in this wonderful event, just take a look at the list. I know that places like the Marriott Hotel in Marina Vallarta do it, and they have a great program dedicated to protecting these creatures. I also want to let you know that yesterday's spotlight was a lot of fun. Let me get myself on the big, boom, there you go. Yesterday's spotlight was a lot of fun because we did it in person. We had Carmen from Oculto talk about her successful dinner and also talk about briefly about a class that she has coming up on how to make Mexican salsa. She's going to join us on the spotlight again next week to get into more details. I love conversing with her because she always has so much enthusiasm about Mexican food and other matters. And we also heard from the nice ladies from Teatro Sin Borders to talk about their upcoming audition process. But most importantly, and I will leave the link to the show in the show notes, most importantly, we did it in person. And having conversations with other friends and business providers and event organizers in person is a completely different dynamic than doing it remotely. And some people seem to enjoy that. I had a great time. And I've come to realize that because the Joint Boutique Hotel has more Wi-Fi bandwidth than God, there's not that much complication for me to move the broadcast of the spotlight to an in-person experience. And hopefully this will attract other event organizers to join us in the studio physically and tell us about what they're doing. So do take some time to watch the spotlight if you can, and let me know your thoughts on the matter. Or if you watched the spotlight yesterday and would like to let me know what you think about that, feel free to do so in the comments, which we will take a look at momentarily. And here we go. Let's see what we have. Lots of good mornings, which I appreciate so very much. Mark Jennings, 7 hours until you're home. I can't believe it. Seems to me like you left yesterday. I can't wait to get a full report on your adventures in Mexico City. May your return trip be safe and may you get home without incident. Let's see. Have you considered getting Muffin a muffin? As a matter of fact, Chris, I have given Muffin several muffins, including an AI-generated one. So yes, I'm always muffining Muffin. There you have it. Let's see. Sherry says, great spotlight last night. Let's see. Angela, you are so correct. It is nice to see water flowing down the river. But I will say that yesterday's unexpected flow increase did take a bunch of people by surprise. And David says, I can come to the next music appreciation. Yay! It'll be great to see you. It should be a lot of fun. And in other news, I think I had a little powwow online with my dear friend Daniel, who helps me land my technology ideas when it comes to remote broadcasting and all that stuff. And I think we're going to be able to start, well, you know, I'm just not going to say anything. But we may be able to do, well, I started saying it, I might as well say it. Hello. I think we're going to start recording our music appreciation presentations and then delivering them online. But don't get too excited yet. Let's wait to make sure that we can actually do this. If they have so many problems with the water, why don't they find that condo building from the waste of water? You know, it's not necessarily the condo. Sometimes it can be the condo while they're building, but sometimes pipes just break. And it is not, I wouldn't jump to the conclusion that it is the condo's fault. The water seems to be flowing from under it, but it could be Sepal's fault. It could be nature, it could be the condo, it could be a number of things. The question for me, Angelica, is not why don't they find the building, it's why doesn't anybody do anything about it? And that's the part that is really concerning in my book. Can I just say it always makes me feel good when I know it's time to watch Coffee and Headlines? I can almost always say the same thing, Sherry. Sometimes I'm better prepared than others. But in general, I always smile when it's time to do Coffee and Headlines. And let's see. See, there's Eric, who has experience with these matters. We can't assume it's the condo building fault. Often the Siapal infrastructure fails. Hopefully things will be fixed soon. There you go. Jerry says, it is great seeing everyone interviewed in the same screen for Spotlight. I totally agree. So again, I'll talk to Eric to see if we can make this possible, and I'll keep you posted. And Jess has a comment about turtle releases. I released them years ago in Costa Rica. They are so cute and appear completely disorganized getting from the sand to the water. You know, all I can say about that is that it humbles you. It is a humbling experience. I've done it here in Puerto Vallarta. I've done it in Maito. And it is always, you know, it makes you go inward and think about your place in the world. And it is just great. Everybody should do it. And this, my friends, brings us to the end of today's Coffee and Headlines. As always, I thank you for your company. I thank you for your comments and questions and for all the wonderful ideas that you bring to the table. Tomorrow, more than likely, we'll be back here at the Joint Boutique Hotel because I don't see the light at the end of the tunnel with Telmex and the internet service. If you live here in Puerto Vallarta and your command of Spanish is less than ideal, all I can hope for you is that you have a good Spanish speaking buddy you can reach out to, because these issues are simply not fun. But stay kind, stay happy, stay patient, and I will see you again tomorrow morning. Have a good one.